What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of the technicals on what we're seeing with AMC, but the main concept of the first part of this video is going to be a question that we were getting asked a lot today. Is AMC over? Are the squeezes done? Did the hedgies win? Are we kind of at this point holding the bag for good? We're going to go over all of that right now. But just before we get into that part of the video, I want you guys to think about a couple of things. One, what is the market doing? And two, what is the data saying about the shorts on AMC right now? And three, what is the company doing fundamentally? If you think about those things, that's going to put your mind at ease a little bit, but more on that in a couple of minutes. We're also going to be taking a look a little bit of the Ortex data on AMC, GME, and also IWM today, because the short interest on IWM is very, very high at the current time. That's the Russell. And that's also an ETF that holds a boatload of AMC. AMC is the number one holding of that specific ETF. Now, in addition, we are also going to be briefly touching on the Citadel situation with Terra Luna. Now, there's been kind of an attack going on with what's been going on with Terra Luna. It got depegged. It's been selling off massively, and people are now speculating that Citadel and also BlackRock might be responsible for this massive crypto event. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, guys, I cannot stress this enough that in this marketplace, it's going to be much more difficult for you to be kind of staring at your long positions and watching them depreciate. You guys have seen the amount of success that people have been having with the 1348 trading strategy. If you do want access to all of the proprietary trading algorithms and the alerts, the private live streams, make sure you check out that link to the Discord down below. So AMC closed the day today down 12.42%. So the first thing that we're going to kind of look at here is kind of those technicals and what the market is doing to kind of go over this question. Is AMC quote unquote dead? Now, the first thing that we have to look at here is the 4-hour chart on AMC. It doesn't look good. We saw that run up, the halt day over here, and then we've seen a massive sell-off. But if you look at most stock charts in the market right now, they look pretty similar to this move down right here. Now, when we also start to look at these days right here, remember that March 14th day, the previous bottom that we had on AMC at around 1292, and then that run up here. Well, look at what the SPY did over here. Remember, March 14th. Now, when we come and pull up this SPY chart right here on the 4-hour as well, we can see that, let's see, right over here is the 14th, 15th. That's also the bottom. It fell a little bit in the after hours, ran all the way back up. And as we can see here, March 29th is the halt day for AMC before it started trending back to the downside. So right going off of that right there, it would seem that the reason why AMC has fallen so significantly is these overall market moves. The other thing that you need to think about here is the flow of money in the overall market. So when you start to see interest rates rise, lots of big money investors are going to transition into a strategy that is going to be more risk off or risk averse. They want to be less risky. They want the investments that they put their money into to be less quote unquote risky. And AMC would fall into one of those right now, a little bit more risky assets to these larger institutions, so it'll sell off a little bit more. Now, the second thing that I really want to kind of go over with you guys is the short interest. What we have seen today on AMC is some crazy changes in the securities lending market. So let me just refresh this page really quickly right here. We had 8.99 million borrowed shares against AMC today. 5.58 million net borrow of shares, 2.94% max cost to borrow, 2.23% average, 20.86% estimated short interest. So the second part here of the whole entire thesis of AMC and GME and all these short squeezes is, did the shorts get out of their position? What is this data telling us right now? Even the exchange reported short interest number right here that came out yesterday, 19.52%, that's showing us the shorts have not gotten out of their positions. They are still in this trade. Now, coming over and taking a look at GameStop, you're seeing a very similar situation right here as well. 21.58% estimated short interest, 13.6 million estimated shares to be sold short, 204,000 net borrow today, 8.6% max cost to borrow, 6.68% average. So again, on GME, they're not getting out of their positions yet. Now, the other thing that I kind of want to briefly mention on AMC's Ortex before we move forward is that these 5.58 million shares that went out on loan today are going to filter into this shares on loan right here. And we're going to probably see tomorrow that break of that 140 million, 145 million shares on loan. And that is going to start to lead to an increase in the cost to borrow, which could be really good for us if the cost to borrow stays high for an extended period of time. Now, IWM again here, 40.44% estimated short interest rate now, according to Ortex. In the exchange reported numbers that came out, 39.49%. These numbers are astronomical. The amount of short interest in a lot of these big ETFs that are going to track given sectors of the market are wild right now. Now, I also want to kind of go into this Citadel situation with Terra Luna and how they could be facing a little bit more scrutiny if this story starts to really run. So what we're looking at over here is this is kind of a forwarded message that has been filtering around. We do have a comment from Citadel as well. So we're going to go over this and kind of give a little bit of a summary of what's going on. So BlackRock and Citadel borrowed 100,000 Bitcoin from Gemini. It appears in their loan book. Now, it may not have been BlackRock or Citadel, but that is who is being labeled as the borrowers right here. They swapped 25,000 of that Bitcoin into UST. This was all done quietly in anticipation of the attack. When the time was right, they called up Do Kwon at Terra Foundation and said they wanted to sell a lot of Bitcoin for UST. As it was a large trade, they told them they didn't want to move the market and asked if they would like to buy their large block of Bitcoin at a discount for UST. Do Kwon took the bait. He gave them a huge chunk of UST, thus lowering the UST liquidity significantly. At that point, BlackRock and Citadel dumped all of the Bitcoin in UST, causing massive slippage and triggering a cascade of forced selling in both assets. The problem was BlackRock and Citadel knew that Anchor, which holds a lot of Luna, was a Ponzi scheme. That's up for debate. That's a kind of a speculative comment right there. And this crash would trigger more withdrawals than Anchor could repay. These forced withdrawals and selling would trigger a massive sell-off in Luna, thus further breaking the $1 peg and wrecking the market further. BlackRock and Citadel can now buy the Bitcoin back cheaply to repay their loan and pocket the difference. Meanwhile, billions of longs in Bitcoin were wiped out. So this is kind of going over the overall attack that was portrayed on Terra Luna. Now, it might have been BlackRock or Citadel, but when we come over to this tweet right here, in a call with Blockworks, Citadel shot down rumors that it was involved in the depegging of Terra in the Luna price collapse. Citadel Securities does not trade stablecoins, including UST, a spokesman told us. But we also know that Ken Griffin has said in the past that he is looking to get into crypto. We've also seen the strategic investment that was placed into Citadel with kind of the assumption that they were going to really start getting into the crypto market as well. So it would make sense that Citadel was doing something like this right now, trying to make a boatload of money on something that could potentially be a quote-unquote scam or something that was a quote-unquote Ponzi scheme. But again, it's going to be very hard to tell, especially with Citadel kind of coming out and saying, nope, we didn't do this, very similarly to what we have witnessed with the AMC and GME situations that we have been dealing with the over the past year and a half. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.